Hello everyone and welcome to another Explorer video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Mono Black Devotion, and this is a build round with a land called Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. And the first thing you think about Nykthos is probably the combo aspect of it, since the most popular deck happens to use Nykthos as a combo piece. Although this deck doesn't really have a combo with Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, but we have a bunch of cards in the deck that are relatively cheap but has abilities that can be used over and over again to get the value off of having a bunch of devotions where Nykthos generates a bunch of mana and you can dump all the mana into those cards. So starting off even early as turn 1, we got 2 copies of Evolve Sleeper, where you can gradually transform this into a more meaty creature. But what's cool about this card is even if it's fully upgraded, if you look at Evolve Sleeper's third ability, it says that if the Sleeper is a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter and you draw a card and you lose a life. Since the second ability transformed this into a Phyrexian human cleric, the third ability can constantly be used to put a counter on this thing, and you get to draw a card every time you do it. And since Nykthos is going to be generating so much mana for the stack, given that you have the devotion, this is a card where you can pump your mana into and draw a bunch of cards, and potentially being a finisher as well. So it's a really cool card. And the next card that we're going to be taking a look at is the Warlock Class. Again, it's just a 1-mana card where it has a passive ability where at the end of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. And then you can further upgrade it for only 2 mana, and you can look at the top 3 cards and put one of them into your hand and rest into your graveyard. For 7 mana, it's a bit costly, but we can get there with Nykthos. And at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. And this is including the damage caused by dealing damage as well from battle. So Warlock Class, even though it's a 1-mana enchantment, it's also a finisher in our deck, with Nykthos being able to get us there. And another card that we can pump our mana into is Misery Shadow. It gets +1/+1 every time you spend the 1 mana into it. But what's really cool is that if a creature opponent controls would die, you get to exile it instead. So having that passive ability of being the graveyard hate is pretty cool. But at the same time, it might be a little bit too narrow and it might be correct to play some other card instead. And that other card that you could play instead of another copy of Misery Shadow could be something like Yarok, Fenlurker. What's great about this card, even though it's just a 1/1, is that yes, you can pump this card to get the +1/+1. It is a little bit more costly compared to something like Misery Shadow, since with Misery Shadow, each mana the Nykthos generates is basically equal to the damage, since it only costs 1 mana. But the upside here is that if this enters the battlefield, your opponent has to exile a card from their hand. And we got 1 copy of Agadeem's Awakening. You could potentially play more copies of Agadeem's Awakening, but you know how it is with something like this, where you have to pay 3 life every time you want this to come in untapped. It is pretty costly, so we're only going to be playing 1 copy of it, and this is actually not part of our land base. We're already playing 24 lands on top of playing this 1 card, so we actually have 25 lands. This is a card that you can potentially save and then combo it off for something like Ayara. Another card that Agadeem's Awakening can fetch from the graveyard onto the battlefield, and that is Grey Merchant. So we're only going to be playing 2 copies of it, but this basically drains your opponent for how much devotion you have to black. So if you have a bunch of devotion, this can deal a lot of damage, but if you got this from Agadeem's Awakening, XS5 for instance, you can expect Grey Merchant to deal a lot of damage. So this is going to be our finisher, but instead of playing 3rd copy of Grey Merchant, we're going to be playing Liliana Death's Majesty. It's a 5-mana card that can bring a creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. So we have a little bit more recursion here instead of playing another copy of Grey Merchant, where sometimes Grey Merchant can be a little bit clunky since it's a 5-mana 2/4, whereas Liliana is, since it's a planeswalker, it can kind of go out of control. And there's a lot of targets that Liliana can bring back from the graveyard onto the battlefield, such as a Grey Merchant to deal a bunch of damage, or other cards that could potentially win you the games, such as Sheoldred. So that is going to be our general game plan with this deck, is to get to 5 mana and deploy Grey Merchant when you have a bunch of devotion, or get back Grey Merchant from the graveyard onto the battlefield using something like Agadeem's Awakening or Liliana. But if that doesn't work, we also have a backup plan such as Warlock Class to win you game. And you know how it is with Sheoldred. If Sheoldred does live a couple turns, the card just wins by itself. As for the sideboard, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Noxious Grasp to deal with Mono Green Devotion. We got 2 copies of Go Blank versus control decks or mid-range decks, and 2 copies of Invoke Despair, which can be very helpful versus something like Rakdos mid-range, for instance, and 1 copy of Thought Distortion versus a control deck, and 1 copy of Duress to bring in versus a control deck, for instance. Then we got 2 copies of Brave Enfeeblement versus a Greasefang matchup or Angel matchups, and 1 copy of Elder Spell versus a Mono Green Devotion. We are playing a bunch of Planeswalkers such as Liliana, Sorin, and the 5-mana Liliana. So playing versus something like Mono Green Devotion, the Elder Spell can be pretty useful, especially if you have Liliana of the Veil or Sorin on the battlefield. You can destroy your opponent's Planeswalkers, including your own Planeswalkers, into feeding either the Liliana and Sorin in getting the ultimate down. And next up, we got 2 copies of Extinction Event versus Creature deck as our board wipe of choice. And lastly, we got 2 copies of Leyline Void, which can feed off into our devotion count and a card that can be very useful versus a Greasefang deck. But we're only going to be playing 2 copies of it just because we're already main decking some graveyard hates in the deck, such as Misery Shadow and Timoret Chosen from Death. And even if we draw into Leyline of the Void, it's not going to be the end of the world just because if we do have the devotion, we should be able to play it with Nykthos. But that's going to be it for the intro. I'm going to be taking this deck into Explore Ranked to see how the deck does. The rank just reset, so there's no better time to test out brand new decks. But if you guys enjoyed the video so far, leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and let's hop on over. Alright, play first. Thoughtseize Yarok. Okay, sign me up. That's a lot of discards. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, definitely an interesting hand. I think they're gonna try to keep the Cultivate. I think I'll take the Cultivate. I'll try to Yarok a bunch of times. So here, I'll Yarok. They're probably gonna... Yeah. Ulamog was the correct choice there. Oh, we need a land. We need a land. So what did they get rid of? Arboreal Grazer. Kill Karn now? Or leave the Karn, play Timoret. I feel like it's like not doing much at the moment. Beanstalk? So that's a 1-mana card. gonna play this at 0. We do really need lands though. Like, we are playing a 25 land deck. So, yeah. I want to see some lands. This Gary is hitting for 8. If it ever comes down. Like, that's crazy. No, it's actually gonna hit for 10. So I'm really hoping we get a land soon. Ooh. Yeah, I'm actually very surprised there's no land there, but I think I'm gonna grab the Thoughtseize. Perfect. Okay, land and we win. Land and we win. Can I see a land here? Can I see a land here? Excuse me? Okay, land. Come on, land, 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 land. Wow, still no land? I'm shocked. Because this... I am shocked. Because we would have won there. Yeah, I am quite upset by that. So, we're just going to lose like that, huh?
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault.
It doesn't even matter if I have Gary because I'm not gonna have any devotion. What a sad way to lose. Like, we had a perfect Thoughtseize too. And into a no land. How... We drew 17 cards?
That's my cue to leave.
25 lands, and we still don't have our... It's too late. Okay, I'm pretty upset by that game. Okay, well, that's a game. Elder Spell... They do have, like, Arboreal Grazers and stuff, but I don't think Fatal Push is gonna do it. I think we just go for, like, discard spells. Yeah, that's a tough game to lose. Kalitas can go. Not sure if I want Liliana either. Probably Mihawk Massacre is bad in this matchup. I'll have one. We just bricked way too much. We got stuck on 2 lands, and then we got stuck on 4 lands for a while. It was just not a happy time. It was just not a happy time. Hmm. Yeah, I'll get the cultivate out. Into a Yarok. And we even Warlock Class 2 last time into trying to look for lands, and we didn't even see one. It's not a happy time. At least this time we're like, at least getting something. Hive? So next turn we Liliana and bring back Grey Merchant.
Apologies for the smell. I brought back an old friend.
Not bad. Hmm.
This is fun.
Let's see. I think we just attack with everything. Well, next turn. Okay, so we found Nykthos. What does that mean? See if we can find something. And we did. Okay, so they're actually dead because of the Warlock class.
Nothing is more loyal than the dead.
Okay, so that was way better. That was way better. So let's do that again. Okay, to be perfectly honest, even the first game we would have won if we just gotten, you know, our 5th land. We had lethal in hand. I don't like this too much. There's no, like, discard spells. Yeah. Not a big fan of this hand either. I think we have been winning because we were getting, like, Thought Seizes and, like, Duresses. But now we don't have any of these. Kind of scared. Kind of scared because they're ramping a lot and we have 0 discard spells. Binding. Okay. Okay, so I think this is a free attack, right? Really? Okay, never mind. They found out. Okay, Sheldred, take me home. Take me home. Wow. Okay. I'm looking for a land. I am looking for a land here. So I can play the Invoke Despair. Or like, you know, Thought Seizes, Duresses. Something here.
Blood for knowledge, a fair trade.
I could Invoke Despair, but I'm looking for, like, Thoughtseize. Oh, go blank. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, there. I don't know why Liliana decided to be there. Yes. Karn. What do they grab?
My purpose is greater than myself.
Golos? Okay. Well, I could Invoke Despair, but I want to try something here. I'm gonna attack first with, like, this.
Very well.
So they're gonna block with Arboreal Grazer because if they block with the Golos, they lose that creature. This way, I kill the Arboreal Grazer, and we invoke Despair. So now they lose the enchantment and the Karn. And mind you, they're actually dead if this isn't anything special. So opponent is just dead. Because this deals 13 damage. Oh man, that's so sweet. That was sweet. You know, I don't like this hand, but if this is a creature deck, having Mihawk Massacre is like not bad, right? And Kalitas. Or even just elves, if I just get lands, which I did. Okay, this is on a green devotion. Looks like their hand is kind of stacked though, if they're contemplating this much. Okay. I think we do Mihawk Massacre because they threw a forest, which means if they don't draw land, they still have only three mana sources. So we quickly get the Kalitas out. Looks like they're stuck on lands. So we made the right choice. We made the right choice. And this deck, On a Green Devotion only plays 22 lands. It's highly likely that, you know, getting a land drawn might be a bit tough. Although we're dying though, so... So I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna play this Mihawk Massacre for 1. Let's see how they block. I mean, if they block. I wanna see. It's either Mihawk Massacre and Gifted Etherborn to get rid of the elf, or Ayara into Gifted Etherborn. 2, 3, 4. This is 4 mana. They could have a Karn. Maybe this is better. So that they, if this is a Karn, they can't get it. So at the moment, even if the troll dies, they don't get it back. Sacrifice another and put 2 counter. So it'd be a 5/6. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Soren.
Violence is necessary. Right. You can deal with my servant. I'm busy.
And I'm gonna start attacking. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 5 mana now. No Nykthos. Nice.
My ways are not for the weak.
Actually, does it matter if they have a Cavalier of Thorn? Actually, it does because of my vampire. Attack, attack. Man, Kalitas is so good in this matchup. Holy moly. Good chance opponent will die next turn. If I attack with everything, they block, block, block. Block. They take 4 damage.
I will rid you of your corruption.
Cityscape Leveler. They take 4. And then we play 3. So that's 7. And then let's say we lose 4 creatures. We lose 3 creatures. That's going to be additional 3 damage. Aren't they just dead? So 3 plus 2. And then Sheldred. 3 plus 2 with Sheldred. 2 gets in. They take 2 damage. They take 4. I feel like they should be dead, right? Am I crazy? Because of Mihawk Massacre, when a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. We also have Warlock Class. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I was just overthinking it too much. Okay, so this matchup, Elder Spell seems good. Invoke Despair, perhaps? Okay, also, look at this. Llanowar Elf, 1 mana. The Troll, 3 mana. Cavalier of Thorn, 5 mana. It's all odd mana creatures. So, Extinction Event is going to be really good as well. Probably Go Blank is really good as well. Noxious Grasp is really good. Okay, we have really a lot of really good spells. This is hard. This is where it gets really hard. Maybe Tenacious Underdog isn't that good. I don't know. It's just a one-up though. Oh my god. Okay, Evolve Sleeper can go. Etherborn was really, really good. Misery Shadow is going to be really good because it's Icolitas. Um... Oh my god. I don't know what to get rid of. This is so hard. Uh... -2 Fatal Push. 1 minus B-Hook. Maybe... We don't want Timoret. Uh... Oh god. Liliana. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. There's too many cars. I'll have to take a look at in game 3 if we go to game 3. Okay. It's a decent hand. Not the biggest fan of it. But I guess Noxious Grasp is okay. I am going to just Noxious Grasp this, I think. In case they don't have a third land, then we can deploy Liliana. Okay, looks like this is like all like high cost spells.
Those who get in my way tend. I'm tired of your
Zero mana Nykthos. I mean, zero devotion Nykthos.
My grief fuels my mission.
The card's gonna fetch 2 cards, which is not very fun for us. Chariot. I think I'll get rid of an extinction event.
We all have things we want.
So what are you gonna grab here?
True goodness can never be corrupted.
They just fetched random card just to get Sky Sovereign.
Watch it.
That's interesting. I want to see what I get with the Warlock class first. Elder spell, huh?
There is always another fight.
What am I getting rid of here?
Drop it.
Maybe it's Fatal Push. Ugin. Excuse me? Excuse me? What? This is like poor man's Oath of Nissa? Wait, what? What is this? Look at the top 3 cards. You may reveal a creature or a land. So they didn't find either a creature or a land. They found all planeswalkers or something? Okay.